delighted to announce in conversation event, yes, Samantha Ruth Prabhu with Sadhguru. The very versatile actress is the recipient of several awards including 4 Film Awards South, 6 South Indian International Movie Awards and 2 Andhra Pradesh State Nandi Awards. Apart from her acting career, she also has started her own NGO, Pratyusha Support, to provide medical support for women and children in 2012. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting to you Samantha Ruth Prabhu, manandariki చాలా ఇష్టమైనటువంటి మన Sam, ee roju in conversation with Sadhguru. So may I request once again our dearest Sadhguru to please come on stage.
Namaskaram. Namaskaram to everyone. Namaskaram to you. Please. So, okay. Don't tell me, huh? You need to tell the world. Samantha couldn't come on time because as she was coming, somebody informed her, I'm wearing an yellow kurta, so she had to go back, change and come.
Good evening, Sadhguru. It is absolutely an honor.
Her volume up, please.
It's absolutely an honor to be in your presence. I don't usually carry cue cards, but you know, when you talk, you have the tendency to make people freeze, and I might forget my name, so better safe than sorry. Welcome back to Hyderabad.
Thank you.
The 94th day of your motorbike tour to save soil. 562 events, 26,000 kilometers. I'm just tired saying it. Don't you ever get tired, Sadhguru?
See, people continuously asking me almost everywhere, looking at the schedule and the distances we are making. Like what is that, 500?
562 events.
562 events means on an average 8 to 9 events per day is what's been happening along the way apart from the riding. So, so continuously, almost in every nation, this is a question, how do you manage this? I must tell you, I was riding towards Bucharest and I was to reach there at 7 o'clock, and 7 o'clock there was a television interview. But weather got very bad and the road can… What is that? Can't hear? What?
You're blocking the view.
You can see there. That's okay, please. Now they can't change that, please. You look at the screen. You always seen Samantha only on the screen, so what does it matter?
It's not me they're here for, Sadhguru.
Huh?
It's not me they're here for.
So I was to go there at 7 o'clock in the evening, but the ride became 9.5 hours instead of 6 hours as it was planned. So I reached there around 11:15 and they were still waiting, the television crew. So I walked straight into the event and well, an hour and a half when we finished, it was nearly 1 o'clock in the morning, and then I was talking to them. So this anchor said, at this age, how do you ride for 9 hours and come and do an interview and you're still fine? He repeated the word this age 3 times and I didn't like it. I'm warning you so that you don't use that.
I'll make note.
So I told him, see, I have lived my life so intensely, I never had the time to get old. You need lot of time to get old. Where is the time to get old?
Can you please give me the secret as well?
I will.
I would like to stay this way for some time.
We will reveal the secrets.
So I see your amazing bike, and some would say a bike to an unusual way to create awareness. Why a bike to a Sadhguru?
Why a motorcycle? Well, see, the thing is, last 2.5 years particularly, I've been talking to various agricultural ministries, scientists, top scientists in the world, soil scientists I mean, and bureaucrats and variety of people who hold responsible positions in the world. And I discovered that everybody knows the problem. Everybody generally knows the direction of the solution. Then wondering, why is it not happening? Everybody knows the problem, everybody knows the solution. Then I realized they're waiting for an idiot to bell the cat. So here I am. So if I fly around and do it, it won't have that. So I have to walk. If I walk, I may die. Most probably yes. Or if I cycle, definitely it'll kill me. So motorcycle could kill. There were many dangerous moments. It could, when you're going at this pace, when I say this pace, like every day, we're well above the speed limits and trying to get to the place because events and events are happening on the way. They're stopping us on the roads and there are events. So, I don't hold… I'm not a minister, I don't hold any position of power in the world. I don't have any, anything to command because I don't have an army. All I have is, I have people's love and goodwill. So, I thought, so that is the only asset I have, so that's the only thing I can play with. I've been talking about this for 30 years and whenever I speak about it, people say, this is great, this is fantastic, and then they will sleep on it. So, now we wanted to awaken something. I knew the simple way for me to do it is to put myself to some risk. And it's worked because 3 days ago our social media metrics without WhatsApp is reading at 2.8 billion people have spoken about soil. But when I started in London, a lady journalist was interviewing me and she said, Sadhguru, come on, why have you become like this? Can't you pick up something else? Soil is the most unromantic thing, who will support you? Who is going to talk about soil? Just don't do this, do something else. Talk about the sky, maybe heaven. Not soil, who is going to be interested in this? Look at this.
There is this constant question about river water being wasted to the ocean, Sadhguru. So, is there a way that we can save it?
See, the river water must go to the ocean. On the way you can drink, you can irrigate your lands a little bit, you can use it, but river water must go to the ocean. This is a very wrong concept which a lot of states are unfortunately taking. If the river water does not go, enough river water, I would say in ideal conditions, minimum 50% should go. But with our population pressure, where we have 4% of the world's land and 17.6% of population, world's population, with this pressure, you cannot expect 50% to flow. At least 25% of the river water must flow into the ocean. Why? India has 7,600 square kilometers of coastline. So along this coastline, there's an ecosystem which is semi-marine kind of ecosystem. It's a completely different ecosystem than the marine ecosystem and also different from the river water itself because it's a meeting of these two, meeting and mingling of these two different types of waters. If this buffer goes away, then marine ingress will happen. Marine water will start percolating into the soil and coming in. You know from Tamil Nadu, 80 kilometers inside, marine water has come right now in Tuticorin region. Just 15 years ago, it was all sweet water. Today all the wells are salt water. People have vacated the whole villages. You will see ghost villages, completely empty villages, all locked homes, and they've left because there is no sweet water anywhere. Up to 100 kilometers it can come. If all the rivers, if you use it up inside for human, whatever you want to call it, human reproduction, I would say. If you use it up like this, then up to 100 kilometers marine ingress can happen. 7,600 kilometers coastline, 100 kilometers means you would have lost 1/3 of the nation. This is about the same size of land that you partitioned with Pakistan and Bangladesh at one time in 1948. That's how much land you will lose once again if rivers don't flow into the ocean.
Sadhguru, since I have this time with you, I'm going to be greedy and ask a few questions that have been on my mind for a while. Personally, I love to visit places of worship. I believe in a higher power, in good energy, in karma. But there is a counter viewpoint that religion divides us. What is the purpose of religion in our lives today, and how would you answer an atheist who says that the world would be a better place without the divisive policies of religion?
I very much agree with that. Because of the way we are propagating it today. See, most religions that you know today, in its infancy, started as spiritual processes, as a quest for human being to know something beyond just eating, reproducing, sleeping, beyond that, because there's a longing. It's not taught to you, there's a natural longing within you. See, if you're struggling for food, food will be the only thing. If you're struggling to have a shelter, that'll be the only thing. Suppose everything you want is just provided today, then suddenly you wonder, why am I here? What is it? So there is a longing to know. A human being cannot simply say, I don't want to know anything, I will just eat well and live well. It doesn't work, because your intelligence is evolved into a certain place where without asking a question you cannot exist. So when I say without asking a question means a quest. Question is just a tool to dig deeper into something, whatever you wish to know. But right now, all religions started with this question. But today, most religions have come to this place, you cannot ask a question. If you ask a question, you're dead. So, with what purpose it started and what it has become today is a different thing. So, we need to make a distinction between religion, religious process and spiritual process. It has become necessary today to do this, because today, religion means belief. You believe this, this and this, then you belong to this religion. If you believe that, you become that religion. So when you say, I believe something, it's like this. How many of you here believe you have two hands? All of you just raise one hand. If you believe you have two hands, do you believe you have two hands or you know that you have two hands? You know. If somebody starts an argument with you to prove that you have no hands, if their argument becomes too overwhelming, one slap in the face. He knows you got hands. This happens in the movies. But in God you believe. Why? Because you're still not even straight enough to admit what you do not know as I do not know. This much sincerity should enter human heart and intelligence. What I know, I know. What I do not know, I do not know. What is the problem? Whatever I do not know, I believe. You're destroying I do not know. I do not know is the most tremendous possibility in your life. When you see I do not know, the longing to know, the seeking to know, and the possibility of knowing becomes a reality. If you destroy I do not know, you will just believe something because it's come from some authority or people claim it's come from an authority. Or in other words, in your life, authority becomes the truth. Spiritual process means truth is the only authority for you.
Another question that has been on my mind lately is how much of one's life is a result of their past karma? Are the injustices and unfairnesses that one faces in one's life a result of their past karma? If so, do you accept these injustices and find solace in the fact that, okay, the karma is being cleared, even though it might seem detrimental to our lives in so many ways?
Samantha, you're old enough for this. I'm not saying you're old, I said you're old enough. That, do you still expect the world to be fair to you?
That's why I'm asking this question.
That is
Can I blame it on my past karma is what I'm asking.
I want the world to be fair to me is a schoolgirl question. By now you should know the world is not fair. It will not be fair to you. But if you dig deep into yourself and have a taste of life, not a taste of your thought and emotion, the taste of life that you are, then you will see life is not just fair, it's just fantastic. So, do you want fair life or fantastic life? You must decide.
I've noticed this, that beyond the material ego, there is now suddenly a widespread…
Who's this ego guy, your friend?
is all around me. And in my industry, the heights of it. So beyond the material ego, I've noticed there's now widespread spiritual ego. I've come across a lot of people who are now on a spiritual path, not you, Sadhguru, who consider themselves superior to people who are not on a spiritual path. How would you advise such people to ensure that they don't fall a prey to this new spiritual ego?
First we'll address this ego guy, okay? If you show me where it is, I'll fix it right now.
I wish I knew where it was, it just keeps coming suddenly.
So, you don't know where it is. The thing is just this, see, at certain moments, as a person, as a woman, you are a beautiful person, wonderful person, I mean. I'm sorry, I didn't say only at certain times you're beautiful, you're always beautiful, but certain times you're wonderful, all right? Certain moments maybe you're nasty, possible. So whenever you're nasty, you say, it's my ego. Why don't you say, it's me, I'm sometimes wonderful, sometimes nasty. If you see this, naturally nastiness will go down. But if you say, whenever you're nasty, Mr. Ego does this, and you don't know where he is, you don't know his address or ID, nor do you know his phone number, so how do you fix this guy? So everybody has this going in their life, because this is spiritual jargon without being spiritual is all over the place, particularly in India, because we have, 15, 20,000 years of spiritual history, so we know all the words, we know what Atma, Paramatma, this one, that one, Ahankara, everything we know, words only.
Words only, noted.
So we can just throw words like this and confuse the Western population quite a bit. Because if you come here, they'll say Mukti, Shakti, this one, that one, all kinds of things. They'll think… I know a lot of people who've gone and set up spiritual centers in the West, particularly in America, because they just know one chant, just one chant. Okay, Asatoma Sadgamaya, with this they run the whole thing. So unfortunately, spirituality, in some ways it's come there. It's come there because there is need in the society. There is not enough source. Because of that, people are manufacturing this here and there. I must tell you this. Is it okay if I take a few minutes? This happened, a few years ago, 16 years ago. And I was in United States, and then somebody in the office, our office, told me, Sadhguru, did you know every day 100,000 people are typing out the word spiritual? I said, is that so? Type it out and see what comes out. Are we even there in the picture? They typed out spirituality. First thing that comes up is a spa in Mexico. You've been there. And the next thing that comes out is a call girl in Northern California. She has learnt all that SEO. For everything she says spiritual, spiritual, spiritual. 108 times she uses the word spiritual on our website. You say spiritual, she comes up, number 2. I thought this is a shame. For thousands of years, anything spiritual means people looked east. East means India, that's what it meant. So I said we must start something, a spiritual gateway, that if people say if they seek spirituality, they must look towards India. Because this is one culture which has spent maximum amount of time exploring human consciousness and the mechanics of what a human being is, how this functions on the surface and its very core. How does this function? What can we do about it? This has been explored. I'm not saying this out of my Indian origin, I'm saying this after looking at the world closely, that nowhere else has it been looked at like this. So, I said we must start a spiritual gateway, India, the spiritual gateway. As a part of this, I thought, till then, I must tell you this, till about 15 years ago, I had not met a single guru in this country. I just did not meet, I was just busy doing my own work. I never thought I had to go and look for somebody, I had never been to any other ashram anywhere. And then I thought, okay, let me make an attempt, then I started making phone calls. They all received my call pretty well, and then I started visiting some people and started putting together. We had one meeting with 125 gurus. We made this thing that nobody talks about their philosophy. You keep your philosophy, this is just a meeting. This is just about how to enhance your ashram or your yoga center, whatever you have, how to enhance the quality. We will teach you management, we will teach you branding, we will teach you how to make a website, we will teach you how to present yourself to international community. Your philosophy, we don't touch, you don't touch mine, I don't touch yours. You do your own thing. Because that is the beauty of this culture, that it can exist in hundreds of forms, thousands of forms, and it's okay with us. So when I went about doing this, well, I met many wonderful people, but at the same time, at least 60 to 65%, it hurts me to say this, I found that if I walk into an airport or a golf course, I meet better men than in the so-called spiritual centers. Because it's full of jargon, no heart, no depth, no profoundness, simply one chant, one nonsense, one philosophy that they read somewhere. It's going on like this. This needs to change. So to bring this profoundness to people, as people get closer to me, I get harder and harder and harder. Those who are very close to me, I am bloody cruel. Yes, because just to bring integrity into spirituality is so hard. Because the moment they get spirituality, little, like you said, you're calling it spiritual ego, I call it spiritual airs. They get spiritual airs, air bubbles get in their head. Suddenly they start acting funny, they start saying things that don't exist. They start talking about nonsense that nobody understands. If you speak something, whatever nonsense you speak, people in front of you must understand, otherwise why the hell are you speaking? Because the purpose of speech is to make somebody understand what you're saying. No, if I say something that you don't understand, I become big, you become small. This is rubbish. This is going on for too long. So everybody quotes a book, it all looks like, we are right now talking about earth buddies. We are creating an earthworm image, we are trying to create an NFT. We've over 40,000 images we have created, we will release it shortly. We'll gift you one earthworm, okay? Now, these are all bookworms who fell out of a book. These bookworms were important when there was low literacy in the societies. Only one man in the village could read the book, suddenly he was very valuable. Now everybody can read, what is the point you reading a book to me? If you have something to say other than the book, you tell me. If you're going to read a book, what is the point? When I was in graduation, when I was in the university, I made an agreement with the teachers, I will not come and bother you with my questions. Just give me attendance. I will stay out. Because if you go there, from the first moment you go there, first attendance, that's the only interesting thing. And after that, they're just reading some notes and everybody is writing down. Those days, fountain pens, kara 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 kara, it makes noise. I don't like it. As I say, if everything is in that book, give it to us, we'll photocopy it and give it back to you. I don't have to come, you don't have to come. I have many interesting things to do in the town. I don't know about you, but I have many interesting things to do in the town. I don't have to sit here and write down, I can photocopy this. So they didn't want me, so I said, give me attendance. Only once a month I went there to check my attendance, whether they were keeping the deal. I sat in the garden outside, okay? Why I am saying this is, when you are also literate, why should somebody read the damn book to you? You read. If they have something to say which no book can say, of course, then you must listen. So, this whole spirituality as a thing, unfortunately, has fallen on bad times, but slowly it is rising because people's longing is increasing. I must tell you this, 40 years ago when I first started the programs, in our engineering programs, in various different forms, 85% of the people used to come to the programs only for health problems. Only 12–15% came to know something. Today, over 90% of the people come because they want to know something, experience something. Only 8 to 10%. Only 8 to 10% are coming for health issues, which is a significant change in human consciousness. About this ego business, this is one thing we must settle. See, within you, is there only one person or two? You think one?
I'm going to go with one.
One. That means you're an individual. An individual means, the word individual comes from indivisible. You're not further divisible, that's good, you're an individual. If you are two, then you're either schizophrenic or possessed, psychiatrist or exorcist. Either a psychiatrist or an exorcist has to come. So this is very important, everybody settle this, that don't talk about Atma, Paramatma, ego, this one, that one. You are an individual. What kind are you? Are you a wonderful one or a nasty one? Fix the damn thing.